Hi, this is TJ with NetPicks.com and the 7 Summits Trader. We just successfully concluded our final launch of the SST Pro. And for those of you still interested, I believe it is still available, but it won't be for much longer, so you better hurry. If you were on the webinar, you saw some amazing consistency, some great trades leading up to the end of the week, the day of our webinar and the next day. I thought I would do a recap of today's session. And so I'm just going to walk you through the trades that occurred today. It was a really slow day in the market. We're looking at the Euro US, our 5-minute chart. As I was commenting in the trade room, all this year we're seeing some really great trades kind of during that bridge session between, which typically goes from 2 to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then between 5 and 8:30 is like this bridge session where we used to see a lot of dead time and a lot of sideways price action, but it seems like this year it's just been a real steady winning time frame to trade, and again it was like that today. You could see a nice small winner here, and then a chance to add to the position here, and the trailer coming all the way down. That's before my start time. I'm on the West Coast. I start at 8:30. That's been what I've been tracking all along, and today was no different, except that it was super slow with really small setups, no range. We did get this first trade right at 8:45 at 23.11, made a little adjustment around this little swing high here, and we got long at 23.12. You can see the stop came up, and it looked like it was going to break through. We even had an add-on trade forming here, but then it came down and stopped us out for a 1 pip gain, basically covering our spread. It was a break-even trade, but then what was an add-on trade just became our next setup, and you could see that one happen right around 9:35. And you know, they all work the same way. You get the close above the trigger line. You've got the corroboration with the OSOB indicator down here. Sometimes I just close it down just to make more chart space because the calculator already knows what's going on. It gave us an entry at 23.21. About 20 minutes later, finally triggered in. It was a slow grinding trade. The stop giving it the space it needed, but it finally pushed higher. And, cutting risk quite a bit, maybe 30-35% of risk reduction right there. And it kept scooting higher and higher. And then finally, you could see right here, it came and it hit that money management level. It had missed it by 1/10 of 1 pip. And if we would have jumped the gun and moved our stop up, it would have come down and stopped us out. And when the market is this tight, it's a real game of precision. So we waited. We just followed the dots. Finally, it did poke up right here, literally by 1/10 of a pip, and the stop moved up. And this is where we then moved our stop, locking in 1 pip. So worst case scenario, we're going to cover our spread costs and get out of the trade with, break even. And it's actually this kind of strategy that has kept this particular trade plan so buoyant this entire year. As you know, the Euro US has had very low range all year. But the SST Pro, being dynamic and adjusting to market conditions, is still giving us a chance to profit even under these market conditions. This was a nice trade. It ended up poking through, giving us a full target. That was about 16 pips. The stop then moved higher, and it looked like we had a chance to really go into rally mode. It looked like it wanted to get higher. The stop kept moving up, moved higher, and finally got to where that first exit was, and we ended up getting just 1 more pip out of the deal and ended up stopping out for 17 pips. So not bad, 33 pips. You had to be really patient. I'll take that every day of the week. Yeah, I want the 100 pip trade, but if I can do 2 trades, break even on one, get 33 pips on the next trade, I mean, you can do quite well with that. And that's kind of how it's been with the Euro US all year long. And I mean, just to illustrate how slow the market is, if we jump back to the European session really quick, nice winner right here. I mean, that's all we got. Starts at 2 a.m., But if you look carefully, look at the size of the trade, 23.36 targeting 23.40. Really? 4 pips? I don't recall the last time I saw a 4 pip trade on the EU, but look at the lack of range. Meanwhile, though, the trailer would have picked up quite a bit more, and it ended up being, a 20 or 24 pips when all was said and done. But it just goes to show how slow the markets have been this entire year. It's even slower now that it's the second half of August. As soon as the summer ends, as we roll into the election, you could expect volatility to return to the markets. At least that's what I think. And just another look at the same trades, this time on Metatrader. As is so often the case, you can see the bridge session right here. The nice trades we saw on TradeStation looked even nicer on Metatrader. And then some missed trades, which were good because those would have been losers. It finally got long here, right at the same time as we did on TradeStation. You can see over here at 840, it got long at 2308, a little bit ahead of TradeStation. But instead of breaking even, the stop did move up, but we were a little bit ahead. No, actually it did break even. It came down and stopped here. So that was also a break-even trade. And then the second trade we saw right here, it does look a little different, the aesthetics, but it works the same way. I mean, the bigger difference is the fact that this is a Wanda, and the quotes are different than TradeStation. But other than that, the system works the same way. This time, this one also came down for another break-even trade, and it took actually 3 trades. You see how it got to the money management, and then it came down, hit the stop. So it was the third trade that actually hit the full target. This was the get back on board, get Bob trade, and that was a nice one. So not exactly the same, but a really nice winning session on MT4 charts as well. All right, crude oil was a really nice winner today. I mean, we had to fight through. There was a number of winning trades that were only able to pick off one tick, and we had a lot of break-even trades, a partial loss, and then finally the last trade of the day was a nice winner. I wanted to show you the Russell trade. Russell was also super slow. This is a really nice trade, 949. We made a little adjustment to get around the swing level. So you could see the shorts at 813.7, and we adjusted our entry 3 ticks to get below the swing level. And it looked like it was going to keep us out of a losing trade at first, but then it broke lower and we got triggered short anyway. The stop moved lower, cutting risk some more. Finally, the price stabbed down, getting to the money management level, and the stop moved down, locking in a tick. And we were still 2 ticks at risk because of our adjustment, but the stop moved lower, the price came down, hit the full target right here, as we've seen with the Russell for most of the year, came down, even made us a little extra, and by the time we got out, we had 49 ticks, almost 5 points on the Russell. And that was it. Didn't get short here. And while it got long here, I had already called the session over. We were done. We figured it was a one-and-done day on a no-news Monday, really slow. And who wouldn't want to settle in with a 5-point gainer with only one trade on the Russell? That was a beautiful trade. Nice way to end the session. The SST Pro, it's all about taking what the market wants to give you, dynamic trading. You have to kind of dance with the market, and the market has just been involved in a real slow dance lately, and that's okay. We could still profit, and sometimes it's even better because what's easier than just one trade, one winner done for the session? It's a great way to keep your trade costs down, keeps it real simple. It's a great way to start a No News Monday and the final third of our dog days of August. Just a final note, wheat futures also had a pretty decent session. The first trade was a small loss, the second trade was a nice winner, and it ended up positive for 3.5 points. And pretty much across the board, our major markets that we trade, the Russell, crude oil, the Euro US, and wheat futures all ending positive today. All right, that's a walkthrough for today's session on the SST Pro. This is TJ with the 7 Summits Trader. There's still a few copies left. They haven't shut it down yet, but they may just do that without further notice. And if you're on the fence and if you're thinking about getting the SST Pro, on our 2-year anniversary, you could see it's working just as well today as it did the day it came out. It will always work. This is a system you're going to want to get while you still can, because when it's too late, it's going to be too late. Thanks for joining me again. I'll see you on the next video.